The airport in Darwin is one of Australia's busiest. In fact, when judged against the size of the population of Darwin and the top end of the Northern Territory, it is our busiest. More pilots and planes per 1,000 head of population than anywhere else in Australia. The reasons for this being so may be many, but his friends say that the man up above them in the little aerobatic biplane is one of the main ones. Not far from the airport is the headquarters of a construction company that is owned by the same man. But SteelCon has to manage without his presence a lot of the time. It is a very busy and successful company that has been responsible for quite a few of the structures that Darwinites use every day. And its engineering achievements are considered by other civil engineers to be quite outstanding. But for now, and for the people of the top end, the name Guido Zuccoli means flying, and of the more spectacular kind. Guido Zuccoli was born in the far north of Italy in 1940. He trained at an engineering college in the province of Sondrio and came out to Australia in 1961 to work on a hydroelectricity project in North Queensland. He came out on his own and was later to marry an Australian girl. In 1966, he started an engineering company in Mount Isa with a group of compatriots, and shortly afterwards he started SteelCon in Darwin. Guido Zuccoli is an engineer who has built a professional reputation that is second to none. The boss has said that in fact it's his engineering work that he is proudest of. But when contractors and clients call at the SteelCon office, they're often told that the boss is out the back. And this is what they see. Little Seattle, they call the SteelCon workshop. At any one time, there are up to 4 planes being overhauled here. And there's just no room most of the time for trucks and bulldozers and ordinary machines. Like a lot of men who've made good in the top end, Guido has established his family home in the more congenial south. In his case, it's Toowoomba in southern Queensland. Guido flies back to be with them for a few days every month, but the rest of the time, the skies are his.
I learned to fly because of the requirement of my work. Because of the great distances that I have to travel to go from job to job, and by car it takes too long to get where I want to go.
What sort of distances were you travelling?
Well, there was one time when I started to learn to fly, we had some work going in Kettering, which was 300 miles then. We had another job at Wyville, which is a further 350 miles to the west, and one at Burorula, 600 miles to the east. Quite a distance.
How did you learn to fly?
I learned to fly with the local aero club, the little Cessnas and Pipers, and they had a little Victor. It's an Australian-made aerobatic aeroplane, and we started to experiment with it, and I think that's what started my interest in aerobatics.
Did you take to flying easily, Guido?
No, I think I was quite concerned about some of the unusual attitudes that you find yourself in an aeroplane.
Guido was into aerobatics as soon as he had his licence. Within 2 years he was competing. Within 4 years he had come second at the Australian Championships, and a year later he was overseas at the International Championships. He has won the local title many times. Guido has taken his aerobatics to the highest competition level, but he believes that all pilots should have a go at it.
It's a definite asset to any pilot, I think, to have engaged in some sort of aerobatic flying. There might be some unusual situation when you find yourself and your aeroplane pointing either at the earth or at the sky, and that will tend to worry someone that's never done anything other than straight and level flying. I would really recommend that they will bring back the old curriculum when they used to teach spins and spin recovery and unusual attitude. Now it's all been deleted.
Aerobatic pilots can compete in first-class competitions for only a few years. The strains on the body become too great. It's quite common for competitors to lose their vision when pulling out of a steep dive, as the blood literally leaves the head. It's common for a competitor to finish his round with blood coming from ears and nose, and to be burdened for days afterwards by severe headaches. But that occurs in the stress of top competition, when speed and precision are all important. There's no stress in just doing some aeros for the folks.
Someone said that I think that the art of aerobatics was to make the difficult possible and the easy spectacular.
Can I put the boom on start again? Yeah. Should be able to get it.
Yeah. And maybe shift that form to the front, yeah?
We'll do that.
Guido on the ground is a very visible boss. Although he has several projects on the go simultaneously, he doesn't have individual project engineers. He works directly with his own men, and most of them have been with him for years.
My work has really given me so much satisfaction and happiness, and then has given me the opportunity of achieving things as a part of a good team. That's, I don't think that I could match it with any other endeavor. I really think that I should say that my work is my first hobby. It's not flying. It's not rebuilding aeroplane, for that matter.
Is Darwin General Aviation business or hobby? Guido bought this aircraft maintenance workshop recently, and it now seems to be as busy as the other workshops on the airstrip. One difference about this workshop has been the presence of 3 fighter planes, which Guido bought to restore. They were part of a superseded squadron that was sitting on an airstrip in the Middle East. When did it occur to you then to run an aircraft maintenance shop?
Wow. That was a definite requirement when I acquired those Sea Fury from the Iraqi Air Force. There are some very obtuse requirements by the Department of Aviation as to the maintenance of the aeroplane, and the only way that we could have got those aeroplanes flying was to simply acquire a maintenance organization. No other way.
So you bought a business to get the Sea Furies into the air?
I think that you might say that, yes.
But all these other planes, these belong to other people, so you've obviously, you're in demand.
Well, it's when we acquired these premises, there was a demand in Darwin for some independent maintenance organization. At the time, there was 2 or 3 operating, and they were all tied to a charter company. There was really no one independent catering for the ordinary customer. And we sort of got involved in that line of business a bit, yeah.
So this is a pretty busy business?
We have got our ups and downs. At times it's very active. During the wet season, there's a mass load of activity.
Is it a profitable arm of the Zuccoli business?
Not at all.
A hobby?
It is a hobby, and it's a definite requirement. So we operate several aerobatic aircraft and the Sea Furies, and it will be simply impossible to continue operating them unless we don't tap the expertise that we have here.
He has bought not 1, but 3 of the fastest piston engine fighter planes ever built, and it's costing $200,000 to put each one into the air again. Guido was heading into his 40s. The headaches from aerobatics were becoming frequent. He could have retired to the business he says means more to him anyhow, but he heard about some fighter planes that an American had taken home from the Middle East. Guido went to Florida and came back with 3 new toys. The Sea Fury was the last and the biggest of the piston engine fighter planes. It was built in the 1950s and was capable of over 400 miles an hour. Guido set about restoring these planes, getting container loads of parts from England and putting on staff just to do the job. Soon all of Guido's flying friends were helping.
I think it is the most technically complex aircraft built of this type. And we certainly grew to admire British technology as the refurbishment program progressed. We really began to understand the intricate way that they solved all these problems.
Are you suggesting that these planes were put together better than such planes are today?
Oh, by far. There is no doubt in my mind.
The planes have been superseded. You're really looking back.
That is precisely the point. There is only a handful of this type of aircraft left flying in the world, and the amount of interest that we see is shown on this, the amount of people that do call in, and the real enthusiasm, they almost make all the air spent on the airplane worthwhile. See the eyes sparkle, and people just like to talk about it.
Hit the pump. You can just press the...
Most unforgettable aspect of this effort of mine has been the determination and the devotion that this team that have worked on the aeroplane have put in the job. Like Nobby and Mel and Roland have dedicated for the last 3 years. Every Saturday, every Sunday, every evening. It's unfailing. Well, it's definitely an exhilarating machine to fly. It's got a massive swing at takeoff. You really got to be ready for it. In the air, it's got a mind of its own. It's very purposeful once it's in the air. Very determined. It's almost like an express train sitting on rails. And you feel like if you were almost at the center of a guided missile more than an airplane. It's a pure joy. There's no other word for it.
and I say he will fly like that for the next 2 years.
Yeah, done.
Oh yeah.
The citizens of Darwin could be excused for thinking there was no room in Guido's life for anything but planes. His work doesn't stop him from flying, and although he is married with a family, that doesn't either. But there are some who would think that it's time that this man forgot about adrenaline trips. Lately, he has had 3 close calls, 2 of them forced landings, and 1 a real crash. Who would blame Guido Zuccoli if he hung up his wings, retired to that business that he claims is also his hobby?
O se manca ancora altro equipment, se manca bisogna metterlo sopra. E quell'altro che fare bisognerebbe vedere anche che cosa per...
But there's been talk of something more, a new challenge. This pilot has decided that the next thing for him is a race in the United States, at Reno in Nevada. A race such as we do not have or allow in this country.
The Reno Races will be the most outrageous racing event in the world. It's the most hair-raising, the most engine-consuming, fuel-consuming racing event that you can imagine now. You got a bunch of 8 or 9 aeroplanes flying 10 meters off the ground around pylons at a speed in excess of 400 miles per hour. It's quite a sight.
10 meters?
About 10 meters off the ground. The wingtip almost touches the ground.
How long is the course?
Course, it's 9 miles. Roughly, it's an oval-shaped course. And on top of that, it's not flat. You sort of follow up and down the contour of a hill.
It's a straight-out speed event, is it?
Only speed.
"30 feet above the ground."
30 feet above the ground.
Nice to have known you.
We'll go there, we will fly, we'll have fun, come back again.